There he is. You can catch him on College Game Day. Anything that's involved with college football and the television, our good friend, David Pollack. DP, what's up?
What up, fools?
Hey, man, it's good to see you. We got college football back. Before we get into anything, though, Blaine said if y'all lined up one-on-one wide receiver DB, you know, he said...
Okay, first of all, don't let them...
All right, you say it
All
then.
right, David, let me...
No, you say it then.
Okay, David,
Mr.
I got
Big
said on
Shot.
the show that, you know, because I was... so we're talking about my abilities to go one-on-one, that I trust my abilities against anybody. I mean, I'm not going to sit here and be a tackle and pass block against you. I don't want to sign an earthly death wish. But out in space, one-on-one, as a receiver, yeah, I like my skills in that
Blaine,
arena.
I like it, bro. Hey, bet on yourself, bro. Don't
You
listen
damn
to
right.
that.
Okay, I told you that. I told you you'd like
Damn
it.
right, Pollack gets it.
Pollack does get it.
Real recognized real, DP.
That's for sure. It's like Drake said.
Now we're going to have to hear about that the rest of the day.
It's like Drake said, you know it's real when you are who you thought you
Damn
were.
right.
But speaking about being who they thought we were, DP, great job on game day, by the way. Good call on some of the games. I do want to start out. Give me your one best thing from week one, really week two, but I'm not getting into that. And then your worst thing from week one, really week two, not getting into that.
Well, I think Georgia surprised me. So I think that was probably my biggest takeaway was, I mean, it was unreal. Like the offense in the way that, you know, Monk in year 3 as an OC, you could tell he was fully invested in what he was going to do and spreading it out and boots and using Stetson. And I think Stetson Bennett playing the way he did. Georgia's defense playing the way they did. It's not a surprise. Obviously, that was a huge takeaway. I think the worst was probably West Virginia or Virginia Tech.
Yeah.
I mean, that's the second loss to Old Dominion. That's very ungood, boys. That is not good. So that was a bad takeaway for the ACC and for West Virginia.
Yeah, well, if Old Dominion can do it to him, New Dominion's going to absolutely shred him. You know, to me, Louisville was my most disappointing. You know, Scott Satterfield, you talk about getting on the hot seat. Dino Babers trying to remove himself from the hot seat there at Syracuse with Sean Tucker. But staying on Georgia, DP, I was talking about this yesterday. After what I've seen, and I know it's 1 week, but you can tell a lot after 1 week just by watching guys move around. I thought Stetson played as loose as I've ever seen him. You're already the hero. This is the sequel, right? You're already Nicolas Cage. You found the treasure on the first one. Now we're just trying to add another wing to the house. But when I look at Georgia, I would rather play Georgia from last year than what I just saw week one. Because it's one thing to be super elite on one side of the ball and be good on the other. It's another thing to be elite on both sides of the ball, and it looks like Georgia can beat you at least early more ways this year than they could last year. What say you?
Well, I understand what you're saying. And I tell you what, the defense losing 5 first-round picks, they looked faster. I didn't say they looked better. Yeah. They looked faster. They looked a little bit more athletic. Malachi Starks is going to be an absolute stud at safety in 3 years. We'll be talking probably as a first-round pick. So I think they have the potential to be that. They played Oregon, and let's be honest, I was wrong about Oregon. Somebody else on the show was too, I know. But I was wrong about Oregon, and I was wrong about thinking that they could compete. Bo Nix really, really struggled. Offensively, they struggled. Defensively, the whole gamut struggled. So I think I'm more of a wait and see. Here's what I'll say about Ohio State, though. Ohio State, they're not going to play another team this year that runs that much stuff. When I watched the tape of Ohio State and Al Golden's defense at Notre Dame, bro, they ran everything under the sun. You have to have smart kids that can do that. You have to have a lot of time to prepare when you're going to be able to do that. Obviously, they had all offseason. But I'm talking about they threw every coverage in the book at C.J. Stroud in Ohio State, so they did not get comfortable. And they made you say, dude, you're going to pound me. You're going to run the football at me. We're going to give the numbers to the back end. We're going to make you stay patient and earn this. And to Ohio State's credit, they did late. And Mayan Williams was really, really good in that football game. But listen, I'm not jumping off Ohio State yet. I didn't learn enough about Michigan in that scrimmage they played against their teams. Obviously, now listen. Michigan, let's be honest, David, they got a lot of scrimmages this year. Good Lord. There's a lot of
he's not wrong.
There's a lot of we can play our starters and we don't have to play our starters in the second half. But I think it's interesting. Here's something that's crazy. I think there's 2 top 6 teams that their quarterbacks aren't settled yet. And I think that's Clemson.
Yep.
And I think that's Texas A&M.
That's where I was going.
I'll be interested to watch both of these situations, in the future.
No, it's a great point. I think Ohio State does have the cats, especially on the defense, to be able to compete. Clemson, I said yesterday, DP, that I think Cade Klubnik will come in and save Clemson against Wake Forest and will never not be the quarterback at Clemson again while he's there for 3 years. I think he has that type of ability. I do agree with you. I think it was kind of an oversimplification a little bit. When people were talking about what Notre Dame was doing on defense. Yes, they were playing too high and keeping everything in front, but they weren't giving them the same thing in the middle and on the outside. They were changing leverage. They were moving fronts. I thought what Al Golden and Marcus Freeman did from the front end, the middle layer, and the back end, keeping everything in front, and what they did on third down was absolutely magical. I think Al Golden was one of the sneakiest hires of the offseason, and we know how good Marcus Freeman is schematically.
David, I'm glad you brought up Texas A&M. That's where I want to go. Ranked 6 right now. We got a good look at Haynes King. I was surprised that Max Johnson didn't get any time. They're going to host App State and Chase Bryce this weekend. I mean, kind of a tricky game. What are your thoughts here? Is Texas A&M overranked, and will Haynes King be the starting quarterback this entire season?
Well, I mean, if you think about Texas A&M, first of all, it goes through H-Hain. This dude is the main focal point. He's the guy. He's the dude. They're going to feature him. So how do you work off of him is going to be the question. If Haynes King's athletic ability is used the right way, he'll absolutely be very, very, very good and have success. If Haynes King can make those plays where it's on the outside and it's go routes and it's pretty clearly defined and I can run the football, I think he's great. I'll be interested to see if he can take that next step, if he can attack the middle of the field comfortably. If that's a guy, if he can go through those progressions. I know Max Johnson can do that. I saw it, by the way. Like I saw Max do it at LSU. I saw him go through progressions. I saw him be tough as nails, dude. I saw him get decked and get right back up and not be afraid to not be afraid to throw in the face when somebody's blitzing at him and hitting him right in the grill. So I think that'll be very, very interesting. I think their defense is really, really good. Texas A&M. Listen, we talk about Kirby and we talk about Nick.
Yep.
Like Jimbo's starting to stack classes. Okay. Yep. Now, here's what I'll say. I don't think the coaching is the same yet. And I don't think they've unleashed it like Georgia and like Alabama has. They still got a way to go to figure out how to unleash offensive potential. And, Jimbo's still got to do, I think Jimbo's got to do a better job together with his staff, with these guys continuing to be more explosive and be creative. But we'll see with Appalachian State, and then more important with Miami, because I think Miami will score points in week 3, and that'll be a heck of a ball game.
Yeah, well, you brought up Michigan, too, so let's go there. Look, I agree with you on the non-conference schedule. It's just too weak. Michigan fans deserve better. When I was there, we played Notre Dame every single year in the first 3 weeks. We need to bring that game back.
A lot of people are blaming you, Cone.
Yeah, well, I'm sure it's my fault. Look, I have broad shoulders, David. I can take that blame, you know what I mean? But you can only play who you're scheduled. Colorado State, Michigan took care of business. J.J. McCarthy came in and electrified the big house, David. He's going to get his first start against Hawaii. Cade McNamara led Michigan to the playoff last year, 12-win season. Has he started his last game at Michigan?
Man, here's the deal. There's definitely workings going on at Michigan that we don't know about. But here's it's just like last year with JT Daniel and Stetson Bennett. Like you're going to have people on the team, on the staff that say, I think this is the guy, Stetson Bennett. I think JT Daniel's the guy. You're going to have this among staff, among players. That's what happens. Who can feed me the rock? Who can make me look best? Wait a minute. That's my boy. Cade took me to the Final Four. Like, Cade took me to the Orange Bowl. Cade beat down Ohio State. So I think it's going to be interesting. I do not accept as a coach or as a player or anything like that, I don't accept this is just the way we do it. So Jim Harbaugh mixing up the quarterback thing, I'm interested to watch it. I'm not going to judge it because I've never seen anybody do this before. He's kind of taking the pressure off of them. What do we know? We know JJ's a better athlete. We saw him come in the game last year. We know he's got big-time ability. We know Cade is steady Eddie. We know Cade will deliver the football on time. Cade is smart. Cade is a gamer. He's a baller. He's not going to mess you up. I don't know that about JJ yet. We're going to find out. I know he can make more plays, but will he make more negative plays as well? So, Listen, the unfortunate part, David, is what? We ain't going to see Michigan play a game for a while, okay? We're not going to see them play people that are actually going to matter. It's not going to matter this week for them either.
Yeah, you don't want to find out late in East Lansing that you made the wrong decision.
Yeah, not against the green ones, as you say. Why do I get, like, with Cade McNamara and J.J. McCarthy, why do I get, like, the vibes of, like, the high school girl that, there's the guy her parents want her to date who's like president of the student council, like really good, doesn't get in trouble, does charity work on the weekends. And then there's like the guy in the band who you never know like what the future holds. JJ McCarthy just seems like the long-haired blonde kid who plays bass in the band who your dad doesn't want to hang out with, but you're just sneaking out in the middle of the night.
Yeah, totally.
Maybe I'm totally looking.
Totally, I agree.
That'll be on Jake's
What's wrong
Analogy
with me?
Twitter.
Yeah, I don't know. I've been
Is
asked.
everything all right?
I don't know. You
Are we
tell
good?
me.
Hey, if you like what you heard and you want to hear more, go on over to Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Stitcher. Check out Crane & Company live every day from 2 to 3 Central, where you can hear us spit it straight.